first chapter, that is crop production and its improvement. We know that humans survive by we need food, and most of this food comes to us either from plants or animal sources. And many of the carbohydrates, which is very much essential for our growth and that means for our energy, it comes from the plant source. So means for carbohydrates we take rice, wheat, some under root stems which is grown under the soil like tapioca, carrots, etc. They have rich in carbohydrate and some other and vitamins, etc. So crops, the food is very important. So in order to get this food, the method, the humans from very beginning, from the human existence, humans have come out with different technologies, whatever is possible by them in their time. So many types of cultivations we can see if you study the human history. But when we came to this modern world, what is happened is food become a very good source, a very important source. And our farm areas, that means the total number of fields, that it is going down day by day, and the human population is increasing. And if you go to the city area, many groups of people are coming together and living as a community, and they are staying in a one big area in flats and other. There is no farmland, but daily they need this food for their survival. So India needs a boom in its agriculture. That means from its traditional way, we need a boom, we need a progress to meet the stomach of all these people. So different techniques and technologies are introduced, but in order to before we entering to that modern technologies, we have to know traditionally how these farmers did this. So farming, agriculture is the backbone of a society. If agriculture is not there, then it is not possible by anybody, not possible by any country or anybody to survive. For example, when somebody says that this country is developed, they are developed in all the ways. That means educationally, food processing, farming, rearing of cattle. In every way they are developed. That means they have found out their solutions. So India also needs. So we will go in this chapter one by one. What are the methods we need for a basic agriculture? For basic agriculture technique, what are the things we need? So first of all, before entering to this farming and agriculture, its technique, we must understand what is agriculture, what is farming, what is crop, definition wise. So agriculture is a practice of growing crops and rearing of animals for the human consumption. That is the basic definition we can give. And farming is more individual. That means it depends from person to person, area to area, of rearing of associated lands, buildings, protection of that animals. Whatever the agriculture technique we put in individual practice, that can be considered as farming. And if you're coming to a crops means plants of same kind which is grown in a huge area, cultivated in a huge area as a source of food, that is called as a crop. So we have a lot of crops are there. Rice is a crop, wheat is a crop, barley is a crop. So these are called as crops. And in India, cultivation depends upon the seasons. Seasons are very much important for the cultivation of crops, because some crops are there which grows in summer time, some will grow in winter time, some need more water, some need less water. Some will grow only in the highland areas, some will grow in the normal lands. So there are a lot of things are there. According to that, the crop will change from place to place. Well, because when we come to these equatorial areas where there is more rainfall for more than 3 to 6 months, we are getting good rainfall. So majority of the time they will go to a crop which need mostly water, for example rice. But when we are coming to this North India, where the rainfall is less and summer is very to the peak, and there is no normal temperature here, so they go for wheat as a crop. So each and every area it will change, for play everything it will change. So basically there are two types of crops in Indian, according to the Indian season. One is known as the rabi crop and another one is called as the kharif. You have studied about this rabi and kharif, and mostly these rabi crops are grown from October to March, that means a winter season. And kharif crop will be grown from July to October, where you are getting maximum amount of rain. And the kharif crops we can see more mainly to the areas where there is maximum rainfall, and rabi crops we can see where there is less rainfall or less, that means there is a problem to get water. So irrigation is also an important factor coming. So next we are entering to the practices what these farmers are doing for cultivating the crops. So first of all, there are a lot of steps are there. First of all, the farmer has to find out a land. So then they have to prepare the soil bed. Then the farmers has to find out a good quality of seed. Then we have to sow according to the seasonal changes. We have to cultivate it, and the space between the crops, irrigation, fertilization, manures. Then we have to harvest it. Then we have to save the crop for the food also, for the next generation also. So there are a lot of steps are involved. So we will go one by one how traditionally the farmers are following, and what are the traditional methods they are using, plus the modern technique. So first of all, the farmer, when you consider about a farmer, the first and the most important two things are very much important. Most important, others are also important. We can't say that they are least important, but they are also important. But first of all, the farmer will try to find out a land where they can sow a particular crop. For that seed and irrigation, that is also an important factor that is coming. So first of all, the farmer will try for a land. Then they will prepare the soil. Prepare the soil means some areas when you go, the soils are very hard. Some areas when we go, soil lack water, that is surface soil lack water. So farmers has to first prepare that soil for cultivation. So first of all, whenever farmers are going, the first basic principle or a basic thing they do is plowing or tilling of soil. That is a basic thing they do. And why they are plowing or tilling the soil? Because when we plow or till the soil, what will happen is the soil will get loosened, and whatever the soil that is present on the surface, which is less fertile and very hard, they will mix with other soil, whatever the soil that they are doing. So they will get a good amount of fertile soil from the down. And whenever the farmers, another main thing for loosening the soil is, many of these crops, the seeds are sowed directly to the field. So whenever the seeds come out, whenever the seeds start to germinate, if the soil is very hard, the roots will never go deep into it. So it is very difficult for that. So they use the method of plowing. And one of the basic method what we see from our surrounding is plowing. So when they are doing the plowing, they use an animal support. Now with the earlier time they used animals, nowadays we are having mechanical support also. That means a wooden plow will be connected to the back of the animal, and the animal moves, the soil from the down, it will be keep on coming up. So it is a very time taking process. So nowadays it is very modernized by using tractors and other methods. And the next one is known as the HOE. So this tool they are using for dig up the soil. That means if the soil once they have plowed, then the farmers will allow they leave that particular land for 2-3 days. When they leave the land, there will be some big chunks of some chunks of soil will be there. So these soils will again, they will put into a fine powder like by using this hoe. And when they use this, that also will help them to loosen the soil. Moreover, that if they want, whenever they are cultivated some crops, if in between they want to loosen the soil, they will use this particular instrument. And next thing is cultivar. Cultivar means it is a modernized thing. You can see a machine there. This machine is very much faster. It is a modern day. It will do all the functions. It will do some of the modern machines which is used in the Western countries. It is almost all in one. Sometimes some are using separate. That means they will plow also, they will sow also, they can use for harvesting, and they will separate crops and the waste both separately. So the modern machines they are using, and the modern machines are used for huge land area. That means any farmers are having hectares of land where the traditional method will never work out. So these are the main thing, the beginning what these farmers are doing. So please go through the textbook, read it properly, and see whatever I have given to the notes. If you find any difficulties, please put as a note down to this video. Thank you.